I don't know which way this way is going to go. There's a lot of submarines from Valathor. He's micromanaging the situation. This is very important. But Santos is throwing in all of the helicopters in there. There's not many missile bolts, but he has just lost. Oh no. The unknown is losing fuel. That means the ships will be taking more damage. Valathor can use this to his advantage with his submarines just to the south of your screen here. Micromanaging them so he doesn't take any losses. Which is very important, to be completely honest. You're still going to need a naval presence after this. Hello everybody, another Line War video. This one, it is a good 3v3. We have Basantos, Zara and Valathor versus... I don't know what that says. It's in Chinese or Japanese or something, so we're just going to go for the unknown man. And then we have Nickname and Romad. All names which are very common in Line War videos. If you have seen any or Googled it before, or YouTube should I say. This map is quite a bit of oil on it. Some good trade routes. Oil here, and here, so quite a good mix. However, there are 6 players, so there's going to have to be some good coordination going on, as there's not much land, to be honest. So we'll have a look, shall we? Let's speed things up. So this is going to be the picking phase, as you can see a little bit. If you want to... I mean, these blacked out ones is where players cannot go because there's interest from lots of different teams. I'll just skip to the good bit where they actually get in. Here we go. Zoom that back down again. Right. What do we have? Basantos in the top right corner. He is a developer. One of 2. In the last Line War video I did... we had Influenza, whatever he's called. I cannot say it. It still hasn't messaged to say how to actually pronounce his name. Yeah, so here's one of 2. Got Zorro up here. He's going to be limited on expansion room by the looks of things. Going for an airport, mix of naval units and barracks and a factory. Basantos is just expanding at the moment, grabbing some fuel and a barracks, and he's looking to set up the storage and transfer of fuel by the looks of things, as Zorro doesn't look like he's got access to any fuel. And then we have Valathor down here. He has his own fuel, is getting some econ going early. Again, naval units, a barracks and a factory, and it looks like Valathor is going to have the biggest landmass all to himself. So we'll see how that turns out. There's a nice juicy city just down here. Trade route, sorry, which should provide a lot of money for Basantos. I believe it's 10 territories worth of money per trade route you set up. So that's big money, and I'm presuming the other team is over here. Let's have a quick gander. Yep, here we go. So up here we have Nickname. Features in many videos. He just doesn't stop playing the game. He's very experienced, very good at the game. He already has this trade route set up, which will provide lots of much needed income. As territory is in short supply on this map, building up your economy via industry, cities and docks is going to be absolutely vital. Now we have the unknown man, just with these 2 and a refinery here. He isn't going to be making much money either. However, he does have this trade route set up here, so it does actually appear that you can have trade routes connected with your teammates' cities, which is a very nice feature. I didn't actually know about that one. Good stuff. So he's obviously gone full naval production. 4 dockyards is pretty big. He's also landed down here to try and nab a little bit of this land down here. I presume that oil is going to be the biggest factor for the first 5-10 minutes. getting up the economy as well, as there's going to be so much naval in this. It's going to be quite chaotic, and naval units drink fuel like you won't believe. Then we have Romad, who is also sat on a good chunk of land, again building up some cities, and it looks like he's going to be doing a defensive structure around this entire alcove, which you would expect. And again, just like what the unknown man is doing, he has a trade route which is going straight to, someone said that my nickname sucks, is dockyard. So a good mix of trade routes being used and utilized. That is a big bonus, especially early on. In this game, if you are unaware, you have about $2,000 worth of money which you can use to instantly build up your first few buildings. So if you were to instantly set up this city with that money, you get that money straight away returned. Whereas otherwise it will take, what, a few minutes to get that city up and running, and that is a lot of money which you would have missed out on if you were to have just gone for the production buildings, which you can't really expand much anyway on this particular map. So we'll see how things turn out. We've got a lot of ships being produced already. Nickname has 2 dockyards. Unknown has 4. Valathor has 1 with a sub-pen. If we go to the other team, we have 1 there, a sub-pen there, another dockyard here. That's not half as many. Another dockyard here, another sub-pen, and another dockyard on the way down here. So as it looks right now, Bravo team is going to be out producing Bravo team is going to be out producing Alpha team in terms of ships numbers, and also submarines are going to be playing more of a role in Alpha team's game. So we shall see how this turns out. But Santos is now sharing fuel with Zorro, which is very nice, as I expected. And your own teammates, you can interlink them. I wonder if they are going to be able to connect these up with Valathor's as well. Nice little sneaky fuel depot down here. As you can see, everybody's grabbing all the fuel that they can and all the territories that they can, as it is going to be vitally important. Looks like first visual there. Yeah, that's... oh, here we go. We've got some movement. This is the fog of war, of which Alpha Team can only see at the moment. You can turn that off and you can see everything. There's like a god mode. And we've got a mass naval movement coming in to Zorro. He doesn't have enough there to deal with this kind of force. This is asking for trouble. Probably drinking quite a lot of fuel. But they are sharing fuel, which is very good. All amongst all 3 players, which is definitely the right way to go in this. Yeah, they're going to get hammered. Submarines were expected, apparently. The unknown man has destroyers in their missile ships and cruisers. A good mix of all 3. So he will happily be able to deal with these submarines. Whereas Nickname here only has 2 cruisers, which are quite poor against submarines and happily get smashed. Not seeing any signs of a naval landing just yet. Apart from here. Valathor having a quick look-see. Not going to get anywhere there, that is for sure. Probably looking, it's just run out of fuel. It's just a shame. Early troubles with the fuel already. We've got one refinery here. Is not currently sharing or getting assistance from his teammates. But there's this refinery over here. This refinery over here, which is not being utilised at the moment, which is interesting. You might not have seen it. very easily to get distracted. And oh, we didn't see this. Valathor has done a sneaky naval landing over here. Will he be able to utilise it? If he can get a good foothold here, that will be big trouble for Romad, who has the most territory in Bravo team. So as you can probably guess, this is going to be the main target for any naval invasions. Zorro in a bit of trouble, but is fending off. We've got interceptors and strikers from Basantos and Zorro. Not many missile ships, but we've got the Unknown coming over to the rescue with their missile ships floating around. Good combined arms from different teams here. This is one of the biggest challenges in this game with team play. Communication and coordination with your teammates. And we have the first fuel warning from Basantos. Looks like he's supplying Zorro with plenty, but he's left his own a bit. Oh, there we go. So he's supplying 11. Oh, he's just stopped it. Right, so it actually shows it. That's nice. He's only making 650 quid, presuming most of the economy buildings are now up. We have some fuel up here, which is yet to be utilised. But all the territories are pretty much done. We have this city yet to be built with a dock. It's going to need that. This fuel here is probably going to be risky. I don't know if you just saw that then, but Basantos had some interceptors just flying over here. Then we have the first landings from Nickname. Looks like it's going to be establishing a foothold here. This airbase is going to be under serious threat soon. There's a lot of missile bolts floating around. Let's have a look. They can see the yeah, they know that there's an airbase there. Nickname's probably going to go and smash that out when he has a few more units up there. That is for sure. We don't have that many units actually going over there just yet. Down here, looks like Valathor is going to hold that for the time being. But these buildings are very close to the coast and at major risk of being hit by naval units. All it would take is one cruiser to be sent down here. We have the Unknown just over here building cruisers. If he diverted one ship down here, he could probably eliminate most of this if it is left undefended. We have Romad trying to defend his coast, expecting a invasion from here, but it's not happening. You can actually see the naval transports moving troops over here to support this invasion. You might not have actually seen it though, as you can tell with this kind of game, you're kind of looking everywhere and you do miss bits. Going for the refinery, excellent move. That's what you want to be doing in this. But his navy has now just been eliminated off the map. We have a city up here actually, which no point building it now as the other team have naval dominance in the area. But that's a big money maker if they can get it. That refinery has been instantly reconstructed by the Unknown. This airfield is going to fall. At some point we have a refinery here which is going to be denied, and it's in naval range anyway. These two are probably in naval range, which is it's going to be interesting. This one too might also be in naval range. It's very vital that naval supremacy is kept. And here we go. Nickname is struggling with fuel. Here we go. Basantos is having a gander, seeing what his chances are. He's probably having a probe, as this trade route, if it can be taken out, will definitely be a big blow to Romad, but he's clearly anticipated a naval assault. and is already ready there to deal with it, and with some support from the unknown, Santos is going to have to get out of there. He's going to lose all these ships. This looks like it's actually getting somewhere now. If you were to be Romad, we have Nickname with a piece of territory here, able to support Romad, which is a very nice team play. Romad doesn't actually really have any land units which can deal with this invasion currently, so it's a good job that Nickname is there. If Valathor can actually get... Romad's coming over with his units. So if these units actually manage to get down here and attack these buildings, then this foothold might fall before it's even begun. We've got... yeah, they're coming in now. Teamwork is very nice for Bravo team. It's good to see. But Santos being a bit persistent in this area, to no avail though, to be completely honest. His cruisers are looking a bit battered. He's not going to get that with that force. He just isn't. Nickname going for a big push now. He's going to try and use this choke point in the mountain area to gain dominance in the area. They clearly have the naval dominance in the area, and having a bit of a look-see around here. But Santos expecting some kind of assault from this direction. Having a few troops in reserve down there, and he's finally got the city and dockyard starting to build up. Still need... oh no, that dockyard's up. But that's going to take a bit of time before that's fully functional. Valathor finally got that refinery on the way. Yeah. This isn't going to go well. If they can take out most of those factories, then that is going to be pretty much done, as there's quite a bit of production here now with a combined effort from Nickname and Romad, with some air support as well. This foothold is probably going to fall. I can see that happening. Probably should have left a few units in reserve perhaps, but what can you do? Looks like Basantos is going to go for the first naval invasion of Romad up here, which is good. And another one with Zorro. Also built another dockyard here, which is nice. Very important that he keeps hold of this bay. If this does fall to naval supremacy, we have a secret rocket being built here. Yeah, if he was to lose supremacy of this, all this can then be controlled. These airports will be almost useless, as any missile ships which are placed in here will be able to suppress any attack from this whole area. And running out of fuel, a big problem again in this. Nickname probably run out of fuel. Looks like he's just put a stop to his orders here just to get this going. One of the factories got taken out by Zorro, which is nice. That's going to hurt Nickname. He needs to get in here. He needs to stop capturing for a moment. I think those infantry need to get away from those cruisers. How's this going to go? Ooh, nice landing. He managed to get a few troops on. This airport's going to go down. Romad looks like he's scrambling a little bit. Doesn't have enough there to deal with it. It's definitely going to go down. But Santos is using these cruisers well just to keep the invasion alive, very much so. Fuel being the biggest issue now for Bravo team, because they just cannot get the naval units into position. We just need a few missile ships positioned up here and down here, and then these strikers will be rendered useless. These ships are struggling to get down here to deal with Basantos. There, the black smoke giving away that there is definitely a fuel issue. This move is actually on haste, but Santos must have a bit of fuel extra. This rocket is going to be an interesting situation that is currently unknown to Bravo team, but it is in range of the naval ships. Now I'm just wondering if they can actually clear out Nickname's forward position here. Missile ships are starting to get into the area, down to one factory, and he's instantly replaced it. So now Nickname is being persistent. He's not being booted off the island anytime soon. Zorro is trying his best to get more units in the area to help clear it out, but as that stands, that is not going to be enough. The Navy will be able to support this landing for sure, but Santos is still proving to be quite difficult. I think he's just trying to gather what's happening over here. Romad is leaving his coastal defence position here to help deal with these units from Basantos. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. Looks like this area has actually managed to sustain itself for the time being. Still getting reinforcements from the mainland. Valathor has actually grabbed this refinery, bit cheeky. Hopefully that will pay off. Romad has lost his sub-pen or whatever that was. I'm hoping Valathor can use this area well. As it stands, that is not going to be booted off. The Navy from Bravo team is mostly up here, but they are now actually starting to take this entire bay. This is what I was afraid of. If they manage to take this bay, they'll be able to control all this area here, which will mean Nickname could gain a substantial force. This rocket is now visible. Definitely. So as soon as they realise that that rocket is there, they are going to be targeting that. Basantos is out of fuel. The helicopters can't take off and the Navy can't run away. Few missile ships in here are definitely going to be deterring these aircraft from taking off. Bit of an artillery position here. If it was me, I would have done it all the way across that mountain range. That would have really helped in the defence of that bay. These cruisers being around here with some missile ships, Nickname can easily control all of this area, taking more money away from Zorro, who has very limited income anyway. We have the cruisers up here, which are destroying Basantos's refineries. That's probably why he's run out of fuel. Still nothing happening but up this end. There's been no cheeky slithers of one or two ships just having a quick scout. That would have paid off big time if they managed to pull that off. Just one or two destroyers would have done it. Cheap ships. Desperately trying to push these ships out of that cove, but it's not going to be enough. There's too many missile ships and they're losing the strikers. This city is now under threat and they managed to get the rocket pad. That is dire for Basantos. Well, that rocket was half built. That would have been £1,000 just down the drain there. We have extra power plants being built. Probably why that they can now sustain themselves a little bit more. They were desperately struggling earlier. This is looking a bit precarious now. Looks like Valathor has finally moved away from his position. Probably getting a bit confident that they could push, but I wouldn't get too confident, as now we have the Navy from the unknown coming in to try and take out these structures. Valathor has some nice little forces down here, kind of out the way. Basantos is being thoroughly shoved. Nickname is gradually moving up here. Yeah, all that is still there. This could potentially be a knockout blow if they manage to keep going down here with their Navy. They could take out these dockyards, this city, this dockyard, and if they carried on further, this city down here with that trade route. They don't know it, but they've got a major advantage in the area right now. They've got so many ships floating around. You've got to think that they've got to go for it. Use that momentum. Nickname's gradually taken over these territories as he's going, which quite a quick process with that many units on the ground, but it is definitely going to slow the advance down, which will potentially give Zoro and Basantos enough time to form a better defence. We have everything being thrown into this now. Basantos is throwing in the helicopters and the interceptors. Intercepts being blown out of the sky. They're not very good against land units, and the helicopters are being smashed as well. They generally take quite a few hits, and they're a little bit squishy because they're not fast enough really to get away. They just hover there. Another bit of a push. Nickname's having a gander at Valathor. It looks like we just missed a cheeky invasion from Valathor in this area. If you remember earlier, Romad had a defensive line here anticipating an invasion, but it got taken out. Yeah, they can see him. I'm not sure why that these aren't being, or maybe they can't pass through here. That is definitely a question. Not too sure how that works. Valathor's units which got rushed in have just been decimated. Maybe he should have gained a foothold here, just kept this as a constant threat. That would have been nice. He does have the navy to help support it. Maybe that should have been done instead. However, that navy is slowly disappearing, but there's got plenty of subs there. These units have gradually been depleted. However, the damage is definitely there. Those two dockyards which did exist are now about to fall, which is going to make naval supremacy even more difficult for Alpha Team. We have some sneaky sub-pen being deployed up here, and all these units seem to have been a bit forgotten about by the Unknown and Nickname. So hopefully Basantos will be able to get a few subs down there and just slowly tickle them without any of them noticing. Now this push is looking extremely dangerous now. Don't know if that's going to hold. Nickname's coming, but it is going through the mountains and it is incredibly slow, which will mean that Zoro, with hopefully a bit of support from Basantos, will be able to take over and counter-attack, push them back through the mountains. These strikers are definitely going to be struggling, but there's not really any missile ships or anything in the area, which is what I would have thought they would have done. If they had a constant supply of missile ships here, all of these air units would definitely have been knocked out quite early. Valathor looks like he's just going to keep hold of the naval supremacy in this local area, just about. He has lost the... Oh, here we go. Romad's coming in with a striker move on these buildings, finally. And yeah, this area is going to fall. There's too many artillery there. There's not enough support. Valathor's going to lose this stronghold for sure. Yeah, it's going to be done. Didn't defend the stronghold enough, I don't think. Concentrated on pushing a bit too much, maybe. I'm afraid that bit is now done. I think we can look away from that bit for now. It's going to keep trying to invade from here, but there's no transport ships. Could do with just holding this, which would have diverted many from that southwestern area. As I suspected, Romad is actually starting to get the area locked down a little bit. However, the missile ships which I spoke of are now actually in the area, which will prevent any of Zoro's aircraft doing any major operations. Oh, this defence. That would have been nice if that got rocketed, but there's a lot of SAMs there. Maybe that would have been enough. Submarines being constructed here now. We'll see how that turns out. Main focus is definitely on this area right now. Tyrell's desperately trying to get rid of those missile ships, but he's losing all of his strikers for that. That might have just pushed Nickname into the better position. There's not enough production up here though, I don't think, to push him off just yet. But Santos is coming in with a few artilleries to hopefully help defend against that coast. All those strikers would have definitely shoved Nickname's assault off there. Valathor still got hold of this area. Romad has wised up to it. Got plenty of strikers. Bombers being built, which is a nice to see. This area is going to be off limits. Update from here. Yeah, this is done. 100%. So Valathor has been kicked off. Still has naval dominance of these territories down here, which Romad can probably do with taking. So far, Valathor has actually been left alone. He's getting a lot of sub-pens constructed, however. Might be going for a sub-rush. So now the main focus is going to be up here. Another rocket pad from Basantos. But it's in range of one of the naval units. No way. Oh, that's twice that's going to have happened. Should have just built it a little bit further back. Nickname's actually shoving his way in here. One factory was around here, I believe. Another one's going to go down. Romad's sending in the bombers to help clear that rocket pad. Those are very expensive. That would have been a big blow to Basantos, especially twice. It's 500 quid for the pad and 500 for the rocket. Yeah, gone. That's a shame. They might even go for this city next. Another one is factory is down, and we have Nickname doing some further invasions of this northern section. Trying to do a flanking maneuver. Very good play if it works out. Basantos is coming in with the reinforcements now, and Zorro is definitely going to be falling if nothing is done about it. This major build-up of naval units. Plenty of destroyers in there. Clearly know about the use of submarines by Valathor. Another little naval invasion attempt, but it's not enough. It doesn't have enough clout behind it. If they were going to do it, they need to do it now before these artilleries get into a position. Looks like the unknown is coming in for a gander at Valathor, who has so far mostly been untouched. The main invasion push has been on this northern island. Basantos looks like he has saved his buddy in this situation. Those artillery pieces have crushed Nickname's attack. Looks like Nickname is probably going to be having to do a defensive line down here now. Hopefully he will have some naval support. And Romad is going on the offensive. This city is now going to be the next target. Some naval invasions going on. That's probably why we had a build-up of ships. Basantos has sent some cruisers to try and recapture this bay, but I don't think it's going to be enough. The Unknown's navy is strongly in pursuit. All those ships are going to get crushed. We have quite a force of submarines being built now by Valathor. This choke point is going to be the next big key. As you can see, there's a defensive engagement line here. We just need Bravo team to send units down here to take out this city. Then a lot of this would have been done. The strikers have built back up again, but there's a lot of missile ships here. Why would you send them off now? They're all going to go down. That is a shame. But Santos is wising up. He's getting his helicopters out of there. The city didn't fall, but it nearly did. Bravo team really do need just to have a constant presence of just a few ships here, just a few cruisers and the like, to help destroy any artillery pieces that will support Nickname's invasion, and a few missile ships to deal with anything that comes out of these airports. This other little invasion from Nickname has definitely drawn some attention. Diverting troops up north rather than down this column. Nickname has definitely got hold of these mountains. Let's have a look, see. Don't know if you just saw it then, but these yeah, there you go. These artilleries, as they're in the mountains, they have quite good camouflage, and they will hammer anything before anything is even seen of them by the enemy team. And we have a breakthrough. Oh, potentially this is going to be a big moment. If the unknown gets through here with this mighty naval force, that might be GG. Valathor has a few infantry units here, but he's got no naval transports to do anything with it. I don't know which way this way is going to go. There's a lot of submarines from Valathor. He's micromanaging the situation. This is very important. But Santos is throwing in all of the helicopters in there. There's not many missile bolts, but he has just lost. Oh no. The unknown is losing fuel. That means his ships will be taking more damage. Valathor can use this to his advantage with his submarines just to the south of your screen here. Micromanaging them so he doesn't take any losses, which is very important, to be completely honest. You're still going to need a naval presence after this. I reckon everybody's eyes are actually in game, are going to be on this current movement. It looks like the unknown has been shoved back, but Santos and Valathor have managed to quell that naval push. However, Romad has took this to the advantage. All the artillery that was here has now just been deployed over here. But Santos has a defensive line beginning to be built. That airfield is going to get taken out. City is gone. Nickname is coming from the north in two directions. It looks like Zorro is going to be losing these in a moment. These infantries are definitely coming for a gander. We never actually saw what happened to this navy, but I have a strong suspicion Basantos took all of them out, as there's plenty of submarines here. And everybody's eyes would have been everywhere else. Plenty of units on this island now. Romad is definitely not going to get invaded anytime soon. Valathor does not have the forces. But Santos has nearly $2,000 in the bank. Not sure who's going to win that. Romad doesn't seem to have many more. Oh, here we go. Yeah, it's going to be bringing all these artilleries over as well. Plenty of SAMs being produced by Basantos. Probably expecting, from what I saw earlier, oh, here we go. All the navies be, not the navy, the air force is on its way. So many submarines now. Let's try and have a look. Oh, they can see them. They've got enough presence to see them. Well, that's so dangerous. So dangerous. Valathor is supporting his submarines with some missile ships. No real damage done so far yet with this massive air force. Just more of a deterrence, shoving back. However, Romad does seem to have broken through here. Nickname does also appear to have broken through here. Going to be taking down these barracks in a moment. This is looking sketchy for Zorro. Nickname's got more reinforcements coming up to the northern beachhead. We're going to have all these artilleries reinforcing Romad's invasion on this part as well. I think it's going to be GG in a minute. It's got to be. There's nothing they can do now. Romad's broke through. Nickname is about to break through, or has done. There's nothing here now that can stop them. There's a nice naval presence here. I think this is going to be it. This has got to be it. There's no chance Alpha Team are getting through this now. Been a good match. I'm not sure how Alpha Team could have potentially got the advantage in this. Maybe if they were a bit more coordinated with each other. I definitely think Bravo Team, with the unknown as I'm calling in that person, Nickname and Romad, definitely working together with coordinated strikes. There you go, but Santos has resigned. I think Bravo Team's coordinated strikes were definitely more effective. Alpha Team did seem to be on the back foot a little bit. But no, good match, very good match. Love the 3v3, that is brilliant. I do hope you enjoyed this video. I know I sound a bit bleh today, but I'm a little bit ill, so, you know, what can you do? Please like the video if you haven't already, and subscribe if you want to see more. I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.